He'll make this country interesting again. But more importantly, he'll make the town interesting again. He's got that gleam in the eye that FDR had. Didn't realize how much I'd missed it. Eisenhower was so plodding and dreary. His Washington was like going to bed with a glass of warm milk and a woman in curlers.
That's not bad. Have you used it?
It's all yours.
Everyone would know it was you.
Kennedy. Kennedy is Veuve Clicquot and a starlet on each arm. And one of them has a degree from the Sorbonne.
That one needs work.
Oh, stop affecting nonchalance. You feel the same way I do.
I just don't think we should get carried away.
I do! I will! This one night I will be carried away. And so will you, God damn it. Oh, to get your feet off my coffee table. God, or at least take off your shoes. You know what? Never mind. Put your feet up. Stand on the sofa. Do whatever you want tonight.
I want to go to bed.
Then you're an ass. How many nights do we get like this? He's our man. A tough man and a thoughtful man, too. The kind we've been dreaming of and hoping for. He's like Stevenson with balls. Brains and balls. Finally in one pack.
My teacher says Kennedy's all flash.
What?
That he's just a lucky pretty boy who gets by on charm and his daddy's money.
What sort of Latin teacher is this?
No wonder you're failing. The man sounds like a boob.
She's a woman.
Let me guess. 60-ish, mannish hands, trace of a mustache, flask in her desk drawer, virgin, possibly lesbian.
Joe.
Voted for Wendell Willkie.
Who's Wendell Willkie?
My God, Susan. What sort of education is this child receiving?
Who's the first president you remember?
Truman.
Really?
She was born in 1946, Joe.
So, more or less, your entire political consciousness, your understanding of the modern presidency itself has been shaped by Dwight Eisenhower.
I guess so.
Oh, you poor child. Here, come sit with Uncle Joe.
2 senators, Fulbright and Church.
Church is a bore.
His wife is lovely.
So together they made half a bore. I suppose we can afford half.
Stuart and Tish.
Yes.
And Abigail.
You didn't tell me she was coming.
Joe, I did. She has her winter break. She's taking the train down from Boston today.
You never said anything.
I told you a dozen times. You weren't paying attention.
I wouldn't have arranged a dinner party if I'd known she was coming back today.
Of course you would
I
have.
would have invited another guest. Now we have an odd number. Who are we going to put her next to?
It's all right. She's bringing a friend, she said.
To stay?
Yes.
Hey, Susan, this isn't a flop house.
It's only for a week or so.
There isn't a spare room. I don't want anybody on the couch. I'll have to tiptoe by her going into breakfast. The girl will have to sleep in Abigail's room. They can double up, I suppose.
It's not a girl.
Really? A boyfriend?
She hasn't used the word, but I suppose, yes, he must be.
Are they sleeping together?
How on earth should I know?
You don't talk about these things with your daughter?
No.
Is she a virgin?
Joe.
What?
Don't be prurient.
It's not prurient, it's parental. Don't tell me you've never wondered.
I don't know. I just always assumed she was.
No, it's absurd. She's 18 years old. Surely she's sleeping with this boy. Even in our era, perfectly decent girls were experienced fornicators at her age. Young people today are far more wanton.
I don't even want to think about it.
Well, now we have to think about it. Do we let them share a room? It's astounding that we're even asking the questions. Social mores have broken down so completely.
Then let's just put him on the couch and be done with it.
If we put him on the couch, he'll be sneaking into her room in the middle of the night, bumping into furniture, keeping everybody awake.
So what then? I just put him in her room, say goodnight, have at it. I have to look at them at breakfast.
No, it is a dilemma. Yes. And what will the servants think?
Please, you decide. It's your house.
It's your daughter, and it's your house, too.
We all know what the story is with him.
Excuse me?
Look, it's not exactly a state secret. He uses a cigarette holder, for Christ's sake.
My brother's a very happily married man.
Oh, come on, Stuart. Everybody knows about the pictures.
I don't have any idea what you're talking about.
I know guys who've seen them.
Who?
People. They've circulated a bit.
But you haven't seen them, these pictures.
It's a well-known thing. It's newspaper lore. The roll of film from the Moscow hotel room. The great cold warrior who got set up and blackmailed by the KGB. It's why he is so strident now. He knows that he is compromised.
Who do you know that's seen them?
I've heard from a bunch of different people. FBI guys, mostly.
FBI guys.
Evidently, Hoover has the negatives.
And you believe that?
I think it's
The
possible
KGB sends its dirty photos to Hoover.
No, but if
My
you
brother's compromised, so he's harder on the Soviets.
Okay, Stuart.
Gossip. Spiteful, envious sleaze that doesn't even make sense on its face. I thought you were a better reporter than that.
I heard David Halberstam speak. He raked us over the coals.
Us?
Used us as an example of what's wrong with elite opinion. He used the name also as a kind of punchline. The dying wasp, elite, he called us. The audience laughed, clapped.
Oh, I'm glad they enjoyed themselves.
They call us the establishment.
Well, that's good anyway.
It's not a compliment. Halberstam
Halberstam is pursuing a personal vendetta because he believes that a year ago I tried to get him fired.
Did you?
Yes.
Why?
Why? What do you mean, why? Because he's a defeatist and a disgrace to the profession.
Jesus, Joe.
What?
Who the hell do you think you are?
I know who I am. It's you I'm worried about. What on earth has gotten into you, Stuart, listening to college students? Since when did you give two shits about the so-called opinions, i.e. the knee-jerk juvenile fancies of a bunch of long-haired teenage radicals? I certainly don't. They don't know politics. They don't know history. They don't know anything. We don't write for them.
Who do we write for?
The influential.
You think those kids aren't influential? Have you visited the campuses lately?
No, I have not been hanging around college campuses, Stuart. I've been rather busy in some other places. Vietnam, for example.
What did you see in Vietnam?
I saw brave kids risking their lives. I saw the endlessly resourceful military of a great and benevolent power in a twilight struggle for freedom against an inhuman enemy.
Save that crap for the column. What did you really see?
The implication that I would present a different picture to my brother in private than I would to my readers is deeply offensive to me.
Did you get out on the field?
Of course I was in the field. I live in the field. What are you implying, Stuart?
I'm just saying. Halberstam, she and those guys, they're young guys and they're hard-headed, but they're smart and they're good reporters.
They're children. They're in their 20s.
They're professionals, Joe, just like we were professionals in our 20s, and they've been there a pretty decent spell. And they don't want America to lose.
Oh, they very definitely do want America to lose.
You've been to Moscow?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I have.
So you understand. And I love the bookstores. You can't imagine how it feels walking into an American bookstore. Or just a newsstand, a magazine.
What is that you're reading?
Esquire.
Oh,
Norman Mailer. Genius.
he's a thug.
No, he's fantastic. He's like something out of Dostoevsky. A mad monk, hysterical and obscene. I love him and James Baldwin and Truman Capote and Paul Newman and James Brown and Andy Warhol.
Everyone you just named, I frankly despise.
And those kids over there, too?
Not all of them. My stepdaughter is in there somewhere, apparently. Her I like. The remaining 99.99% of that writhing, fetid mass, yes.
You know what? I think you hate America more than anyone back home
That's
does.
absurd. I love my country. I just don't care very much for many of the people in it right now.